Hi ladies, how are you? Nice seeing you. I wanted to speak to you today about working on our qualities, becoming better people. So there was this woman, very, very special woman. Her name was Miriam Nevi'ah. She was a prophet. Probably all of you heard about her. She was the sister of Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron HaKohen. Very, very special woman. They say there were only 6 people that when they died, Hashem kissed them as they died. It's very, very special death. Easy, easy death. They were Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, our fathers. Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam. She's the only female, okay, that was so close to Hashem. Hashem kissed her when she died. Very, very special woman. She's the one that, all the redemption of the Jews was because of her, basically. She raised Moshe Rabbeinu. She asked her father, come on. She made a lot of things over there, back in Egypt. But there was one sin that she did. You probably heard. She spoke about Moshe Rabbeinu, okay, and she got punished. What was her punishment? She said Lashon Hara about Moshe Rabbeinu. What was her punishment? She got leprosy. Now, that's a very severe punishment, leprosy. Leprosy, as you know, is a very contagious thing. Today, Baruch Hashem, we don't have this disease like it used to be back in time, but it's a very contagious disease. And when somebody would get such a disease, he would have to isolate himself from people, to live alone for a while. They said that for 7 days she was alone, and the whole Jewish nation waited for her. They didn't continue traveling. For her respect, they were waiting for her, okay, because they felt appreciating to her. She was very, very special. Miriam almost did not make any sin. She didn't really make a Lashon Hara. What was her problem? She said to her brother Aaron, so we're also prophets. What's the big deal? That's what she said. And she got punished. How many people you know? And maybe let's start to talk about ourselves. Many times you yourself, you intend to do good. You say something and you have to be so careful, because it could go to the wrong direction. God forbid. Let's say, I give these examples anywhere, so don't feel intimidated and don't talk about anybody here. I'm just giving examples. Let's say your mother-in-law came in. And she really intended so good, and she wanted to tell her son, you don't know how to raise your child. You're not doing it in the right way. She intends good, but she can make so much problems in this house now. Or she tells him something like, why did you have to waste so much money on this piece of jewelry that you bought your wife? Let's say she intended good. She doesn't want him to waste money. But this sentence creates so much tension afterwards. She can say something, not her, somebody else. Your sister comes to visit. And she can say something like, don't wash yourself all the dishes. Let your kids wash dishes also. Let your husband help. Don't make them take advantage of you. Advices, good advices. But sometimes, these good intentions can create a lot of problems. Your daughter tells you something like, oh mother, you're old-fashioned. You don't know how to put on clothing. You don't wear the right jewelry. You don't know how to make your hair. You don't know. These kind of sentences, they don't make good to you. And so you have to be careful not to do this to other people. Sometimes you as a mother also think that you're entitled to tell your daughter what to do. Sometimes she will listen, sometimes she will not. Your sister, your cousin, your friend, your neighbor, your co-worker. When using our tongue, we have to be very, very careful. Because as I said, Miriam Nevi'ah almost didn't do any problem, any sin. And then still she was punished severely. Of course, we have to be careful also. Let's say somebody is not eating kosher. So he's doing the sin on his own. It's only him that makes the sin. Let's say somebody doesn't keep Shabbat the right way. So it's only him that doesn't keep Shabbat the right way. But if somebody speaks Lashon Hara, he needs a partner. You don't talk Lashon Hara to yourself. You need somebody that will listen to you. Okay? And this is already not easy. Hashem does not want to tolerate people who speak Lashon Hara. Hashem punished them. Why Miriam was supposed to isolate from all the people? Why she was supposed to be alone? This is the message to people who speak slander and Lashon Hara about other people. You don't appreciate society, you don't appreciate company, you speak bad about them, you're going to be all alone. Once you're going to be alone, this is when you're going to start appreciating people. So people basically think and rethink and regret, hopefully, for the bad talks that they've done. Why do people speak Lashon Hara? And why is it so bad? Why do people speak Lashon Hara? They say people who look for defects at other people, okay, from all kind of reasons, these are the ones that speak Lashon Hara. Could be jealousy, could be insecurities, could be all these kind of reasons. Basically, you're not happy about yourself, you're not happy about that person, and you don't want his benefit. And this Hashem doesn't like. Because as we said before when we were making the challah, the most important thing is to have a good energy, a good thinking, a positive thinking. And when you don't have a positive thinking, so everything that you do, everything that's around you, you can look at negative at that. A woman can live in the most beautiful house, but if she knows that her cousin got a bigger ring than her, that she has a bigger house, that her lustre in the house is nicer, that she got a mink coat and she didn't get this mink coat. She got, I don't know, brand name sunglasses, brand name bag, I don't know, something, and she doesn't. Even though she has everything, she can stay miserable. Why? Because of her outlook. And so when people speak Lashon Hara, they have a damage, they're not happy, and they try to look this kind of a defect in other people, and that's the problem. So our thinking needs to be changed. Hashem doesn't like when people speak Lashon Hara. Right after Miriam was punished, there was the problem of the spies. Spies were sent to Israel to check the land, if the land is good or not. They didn't learn the lesson from Miriam, and when they came, instead of saying, oh, Israel is such a beautiful country, we saw such beautiful fruits over there, 8 people were holding one grape, because the fruits were giant, they were beautiful, they were juicy, they were good. Instead of saying all the goodness of Israel, they started to say, oh, there's a lot of people dying there, and who knows how many wars we're going to have, and who knows if we'll be able to win this country, and all these people that live over there. Why? The country was so good. Why do you speak bad about the land? And when they came, not like Miriam and Neviah, they got punished. You spoke bad about Israel, you are not going to get into Israel. And they did not. For 40 years they were wandering in the desert, and then these people did not go to Israel. They died in the desert. Only 2 spies that spoke good about Israel, Yehoshua and Caleb, they got inside with the young generation, not this old generation that kept crying and crying for no reason. So, our outlook is supposed to change. Now, you got a very juicy, interesting thing that you want to tell your husband about, I don't know, his best friends, about the wife of his best friend, about your neighbor, about something. You want to say, and you hold yourself, you hold your tongue. It's a great, great mitzvah when you don't reveal, when you don't speak slander about other people. I want to give you an example of how holding your tongue, how it can help you so much. about 100 something years ago in Yerushalayim. So there lived this woman, and one day she was making laundry. You know, laundry 100 years ago, how hard it was. It's not a machine that we have today. It's working the whole day, okay, and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And after a whole day of cleaning, she has to go and she has to dry it out on ropes outside in the air, so it's going to get dry, and it's the whole big thing. Once a week or once in 2 weeks, I don't know how long, they would make this laundry day. So she works the whole day, and then she hangs out this laundry to dry it out, and it was in her backyard. And then it was, I guess, a place where her neighbor belonged to the neighbor too. The neighbor got inside, and she saw so many laundry hang on this outside, and it bothered her. Why she take so much room? She went, she took a pair of scissors and she cut it. The rope. What happened to all the beautiful, clean laundry? Fell on the floor, got dirty, got filthy. It's like the whole work of the whole day went for waste, for nothing. You know, she lost so much, she wasted so much energy for nothing. So this woman that was working on this laundry got so upset. You know, it's, of course you get mad, but she said to herself, wait, I'm not going to answer, I'm not going to call her, I'm not going to yell at her. She took all her laundry again to the river, again cleaning everything, and again hanging it in a different place so it won't bother the neighbors. Now her husband comes. Usually women, they like to share. So naturally, right, she wanted to share this piece of news with her husband. That's not fair, I worked so hard, and the neighbor, look what she did to me. She didn't say a word. It's not easy not to say a word. It's like a war inside you, to say, not to say, to say, not to say, to say, not to say. She decided not to say a thing.
But it's so hard.
It's very hard. Of course it's hard. Of course it's hard. That's what she did. Okay? And so, later on that evening, the neighbor comes inside and she knocks at her door and she tells her, my son, he got fever. What should I do? What should I do? This neighbor that cut the laundry, she tells her, what should I do? What should I do? And she tells her, don't worry, I will pray for you. Maybe you do this. And she really tries to help her. She doesn't remind her of the incident today. She doesn't say anything. She goes back and forth, and she tells to herself, this lady, I'm going to pray to Hashem, that Hashem, I forgive her, and Hashem would help her child, that she won't have this temperature. You know, years ago when you don't have doctors, temperature, it's dangerous. Who knows what's going to happen? And later on, Bemet, she heard that the temperature came down and everything was okay. This neighbor understood herself that she was wrong. This lady never hold grudge, never answered back, was not angry at her, you know, didn't revenge on her or anything. She came herself and she asked for forgiveness. They said that this lady that was holding herself so much, she didn't have children for a long time, and she asked Hashem, with my mitzvah that I was holding myself and trying not to get angry, and trying not to hold grudge against this woman, and trying not to say Lashon Hara about her to my husband, okay, please grant me a child. She got a very special son. His name is Arav Eliashiv. He just passed away a few years ago. He was 101 or 2 when he passed away. He was a great rabbi, a big man. And this bracha came to her because she was working on herself so much. So you see, when you hold your tongue, it's for your own benefit. It's not easy, Bella, as you asked before. It's not easy. But Hashem sees that you're working so hard on it, and He pays you for that. He rewards you for that. That's how it goes. So, as I said, usually, naturally, people like to revenge. You know the story about the Count of Monte Cristo? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. A man that a lot of damage was done to him, and as he got the powers again, he was trying to revenge on all these people that made so much wrong to him, right? This is not our way of thinking. This is not the biggest example that we see from the Torah is Yosef HaTzadik. Yosef HaTzadik, what his brothers didn't do to him. He was such a beautiful guy, okay? They just sold him, humiliated him to the Egyptians. He was there in the jail. He was among bad people and everything. But when it was his time, when he got the power, when he became the king, he never thought of revenging them. They came, Israel, to his brothers, to Egypt, to get some food. He is the king. He can punish them, he can throw them to the jail, he can kill them, he can do whatever. But no, he knows who they are, and he gives them food, and he tells them, don't worry, it's all from Hashem. Hashem wanted it this way. It's not your fault. Hashem, I know that I came here for a reason. That's a beautiful man. That's a beautiful thought of a man that was working on himself. And this is one of the reasons that he's called Yosef HaTzadik. So when people work on their qualities, it's a very, very big thing. As I said, 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva stopped dying today in Lag BaOmer, right? Rabbi Akiva was a special man. Rabbi Akiva, they say, why did Rachel marry him, his wife? She was coming from a very rich family. He was nothing. He was poor. He was nothing at that time. Why did she get married? Because she saw that he has good qualities. I want to tell you, I want to share with you a quality that he had. And this is something that we have to work on it so that we will get it too. It says in the Gemara a story about this Rabbi Akiva when he was younger, that he was working for somebody for a whole year, or 2 years he was working by him. He didn't get salary. They had an agreement that when he's going to be finishing his job over there, this is when he's going to pay him. Fine. He works for 2 years and then he wanted to get home. So he tells him, okay, release me please and pay me all whatever you owe me. The owner tells him, I don't have anything to pay you. Well, what do you mean? I worked for 2 years. Was it for free? He said, no, it wasn't for free, but I don't have anything to pay you. So he tells him, okay, maybe you don't have cash. So please give me things. Give me some of your sheep. He was a rich man, he was a wealthy man, he had fields, he had animals, he had real estate, he had all kind of stuff. Give me a cow, give me a few horses, give me some sheep, give me chickens, give me something. No, I don't have. What do you mean he doesn't have? He has. He works for him, he knows that he has. Okay, so give me things that you have at home. You have meat, you have fruits, vegetables, potatoes, I don't know, give me linens, give me a coat, give me something. He says, I don't have. So he left. He went just like that, without nothing. What a typical regular man would do. Get upset, get angry, bring the police, ask, I don't know what he would do, start hitting him or beating him or something. He didn't say anything, he went home. Few days later, this owner runs after, comes with a wagon loaded with stuff, with all whatever he asked before, the animals and the linens and the food and the potatoes and whatever, and the money. And he comes in and he gives to him everything. He says, thank you for your service. But let me ask you one thing. When I told you that I have nothing to pay you, what do you think of me? It happens, he says, that rich, wealthy people sometimes don't have cash. I thought at the moment you don't have cash. He said, I'm swearing you, that's exactly what happened. And when you asked me if I can bring you, if I could give you some horses, some animals, and I told you I don't have, what did you think? So he said, probably you landed it at somebody and they didn't give it to you back or something. He says, I'm swearing to God, that's exactly what happens. And then you ask him, and the linens and the food, and you saw that I have these things. Probably you dedicated it to the holy temple. Probably you owned it to somebody. Probably. This in Hebrew it's called Hevei dan et kol ha'adam lekav zchut, meaning looking at the benefit of the doubt. if you, it's very common that right away, let's say your again mother-in-law came into your house and she said something. You go to your husband and say, it's not fair. Why is she saying this? And she doesn't know anything. You start yelling, and so your sister-in-law, let's say, usually volunteers to when she comes to you on Shabbat to bring a cake or to make a special salad or something. This time she didn't come with anything. And you can think, she hates me, she doesn't like me, she doesn't appreciate me, but no, maybe she had to run with her son to the emergency room and she didn't have the time. Your, friend was supposed to call you, she didn't call you. Maybe she got guests all of a sudden that came to visit her. Your brother, took a loan from you. A whole year passed, 2 years passed, didn't pay you. Maybe he doesn't have the money yet. Maybe he cannot really pay you. And all kind of things can happen, all kind of stuff, and think, what could be. Maybe he cannot. Maybe sometimes sitting and talking, of course, will do the thing, but this is called the benefit of the doubt. And imagine to yourself something like that. As we talk about Lashon Hara, imagine to yourself a friend, okay, comes to visit you. You bought, Baruch Hashem, a new house, and she came with a present. She came with a present, and she gives it to you, and you're all smiling, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then all of a sudden, your baby was crying upstairs. How do you know that the baby is crying upstairs? Some people have this device, this babysitter device, baby monitor, and they hear when the baby cries, so she runs upstairs, and her husband happened to be there too. And then she tries to calm the baby or whatever, and she tells her husband, what kind of gift is that? What, she doesn't appreciate me? Last time when she moved to this new house, I gave her such a much better thing. What is she doesn't appreciate me, she doesn't think, what should I? She comes downstairs and she sees that her friend is so upset at her. What happened? She heard everything. She heard everything. How's she going to face her now? What is Lashon Hara? Next to her, you won't say anything. But behind her back, you can say whatever you want. Right? You have guests over. You have people. You go inside, who needs these people and why they came, and I'm so tired, and I don't have You keep complaining to your husband, say it next to them. No, I cannot say it next to them. What people are going to think about. Why do you say it behind their back? This is Lashon Hara. And you know something? In heaven, they document everything we do. Whatever we say, whatever we talk, whatever we have, they will have tapes, they will have audios, they will have videos, they will have everything. We cannot get away from that. We have to be careful. Holding our tongue, restraining ourselves. Hello? Slowly, be careful. Wait a second. And this is something that people have to be careful, because Lashon Hara is something that destroys family. Lashon Hara is something that destroys friendship. Lashon Hara is something that destroys people's name, good name. You can say something about her and it can destroy her. There was this woman that, young girl, that felt like she's almost fainting. She didn't really feel good, lost her balance or something, and she went into the cafe that she saw, the first thing that she saw, and bought herself some drinks to drink something and to come down. But then people saw that she's there and started to talk, gossip. Oh, I heard that, Dina was in this restaurant. It's not kosher restaurant. How did she get there? Oh, she's not eating kosher. Oh, she's probably also doesn't keep Shabbat. Oh, she's probably... They ruined her name so much. It was so hard for her to find a good husband after or something, but just because people talk nonsense, but they talk. And as I said, it can kill name of people. It can ruin communities. We know what Lashon Hara can do. This rabbi doesn't want to talk to this rabbi. These people don't want to hear. This only because people talk too much. And yes. So they say, what was the punishment of the spies? I mentioned the spies before. They say that they got aska. What is aska in the time of the Gemara and the time of the Talmud? Today askara would be diphtheria. Diphtheria, lo aleinu, it's a very bad disease that starts in the intestines and goes slowly into the mouth of the people. It swells over there and swells over there, and people suffocate and they get choked and they cannot breathe and they cannot this slowly until, God forbid, they die in a very, very suffering, slowly death that they say it's one of the most difficult death, lo aleinu. Why would people get such a thing? Because they speak not good. And this is why they get punished with their mouth. This is how the meraglim, the spies, were punished. When they ask in the Gemara something that I want to relate to today to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, they ask, why is there askara in the why we have this diphtheria in the world? So one rabbi says, Rabbi Yehuda says, because of Lashon Hara. They speak, when people speak Lashon Hara, this is what they get. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says another thing, and this is what I want to speak to in the end now. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, no, it's because people do not learn Torah. I want to explain what is the connection now to the Torah. So they ask him, it's okay, so people don't learn Torah, but not only male, they get this disease, also women get this disease. Women are not obligated to learn Torah. Why do women get this disease? So he answers, because women sometimes don't let their husbands to learn Torah. When he has one shiur, I don't know, once a week or 1 hour a day, and you don't want him to go, stay home, be with the kids, there's so many things to do, we have to paint the house, I don't know, we have to do stuff, we have to, just don't go. And you don't know, when people don't learn Torah, they're different people. The Torah we know, thank you, delicates people. Okay, give them good values. They have values of family. They have Hashem. They have God above them. They cannot do whatever they want. They have to answer to somebody. So they become better people. So when women, they do not support their husbands or their children to go to yeshiva, to learn Torah, okay, this is when women can, God forbid, get this disease. And then they ask, so why Gentiles? Gentiles also get diphtheria. They're not supposed to learn Torah. Because we know the Gentiles, throughout the history, didn't let Jews to learn Torah. They, with all the decrees that they put on them, the pogroms, the difficulties, okay, the problems, didn't let the Jews. And then they ask, why do children, little kids, die from diphtheria too? And the answer is, whenever there is a tzaddik, a righteous man, and he dies, so he's the kapara. What is kapara? Because of him, the decree stops. Once this righteous man dies, this decree stops. Whenever there is no righteous people, little kids die. So the Torah, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai taught us the secrets of the Torah. Told us that the way of Torah, when we live with the way of Torah, when we remember who is Hashem and what He wants, or what's our purpose in this world, okay, this is the best thing that could happen. Let me finish with one story. There was this young executive director that was going with his car, his new Jaguar, okay, very wealthy man, very promising, a lot of pride. He goes fast in one of the neighborhoods, and then, boom, he got a hit. Somebody threw a stone on him. Huh? Stone on my new Jaguar? He came out so upset out of the car. Who could it be? He saw a little boy. He holds him and he starts screaming at him. Why did you scratch my car? Why did you throw a stone on my car? So the boy asks him very politely. He tells him, I'm sorry. Listen, this is my brother. And he's on a wheelchair. And he fell. And I cannot pick him up. And I'm trying to get the attention of the drivers, of the people who go by. Nobody stops. I didn't have a choice, and I threw a stone on you. When this young executive director heard that, he wasn't upset anymore. Sure, he tells him. He comes, he picks up this little handicapped boy, He puts him back in the wheelchair. He helps him out. He tells him, escorts them to the house and make sure that everything is okay. And he goes back to the car. They say that this man never cleaned off this scratch from his car. Why? Hashem always whispers to us. We have our neshama, we have our soul. Hashem is always connected to us. So sometimes he whispers and we listen. Sometimes we don't listen. We get too much far away and we don't listen. And this is when Hashem, he doesn't have a choice and he hits us. Hello, wake up. Hello. And so this is our choice now. Do we want to listen to the whisper of Hashem? Or we want, God forbid, to get a hit and to get awake? B'ezrat Hashem, let's hope that with the merit of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Lag BaOmer and all the mitzvot and all the brachot and all whatever we did today, Hashem will send the redemption very fast. B'ezrat Hashem, we'll be zocheh to be in Yerushalayim soon with everybody together. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Okay.